Hi Tubies, here's Alexandra and welcome to another video where I ramble a little bit and try to paint while doing it. Well, what I wanted to talk today about is how long does it actually take to paint an army? Well, you see over and over again on YouTube those challenge videos. Yeah, I managed to paint a 30,000 point army in a weekend, or I painted 2,500 points in about a day in a 24-hour stream, and so on. And I think those kinds of videos are super misleading for a lot of hobbyists out there, because to be honest, I don't think that anybody will actually paint that way. So to force yourself to stay awake for 36 hours and paint and paint and paint and paint and paint, no, I don't think that anybody in their right mind would actually paint that way. So for me, painting miniatures is my hobby, and what those YouTubers are providing is just, well, a spectacle and something along the line of eye candy, but it is so far removed from the actual normal hobby hobby day in and day out that it is painting a totally different picture. So I, as a hobbyist, I don't paint like a machine. I don't paint armies in rapid succession, 50 unit mobs in 2 or 3 days. No, I treat this still as a hobby, as a side project, as something I do to relax and something to have fun with. And so I grab a miniature that I like and I paint it, one mini at a time. And well, for army painting purposes, that's not the I would say most effective approach, but it's for me the approach to relax while painting. I don't like batch painting miniatures. I don't like to overwhelm myself with miniatures. I tried that here and there, painting like 3 to 5 Space Marines at the same time, but when it comes to it, I make one painting step with all the 5, and then I make the next painting step only with 3 of them, and then the next painting step only with 1, and then I finish 1, and then I have 4 other Space Marines laying around with a half a paint job, or even just the beginnings of a paint job. But then over time I will pick them up one by one and start painting them again. So this approach that I'm doing is a very, very slow approach. Honestly, it's super slow. But over the years, I have managed to accumulate several armies. I have 2 full Stormcast Eternals armies. I have 2 Space Marine armies with the Crimson Vow now, and previously with my Wings of Fury. You might know from about 12 years ago. Then I have my Imperial Knights. I have several Nighthounds. I have what else? Right now I'm painting here on an Orc army for Age of Sigmar. Then I have my Necrons, I have Death Guard, and so over the years, armies are accumulating. It's not a process that's gone overnight, but overall, I have fun painting those armies, and I have fun painting those miniatures, and they look relatively decent. Well, you know me, I'm not a candy painter. I'm not so super versed in the techniques. I'm not a painter for competitions like Golden Demon and such, since Games Workshop has retired from holding the Golden Demon awards in Germany several years ago. I've never been to any kind of competition anymore, and that's not a painting style that suits me. I just want to have fun painting miniatures, relatively decent, and that they look nice on the tabletop from several feet away. But nevertheless, my miniatures look decent. They are not horrible. They are sometimes even really nice, and I get some or even more praise for them on Instagram. I'm not an Instagram, I would say, celebrity or something. The most I've gotten for likes were 130, I guess, around the bound. That's for Instagram. Warhammer painters, that's nothing. I've seen Warhammer painters there with several thousands of likes, and that's okay. It's totally okay. That's just my way of hobbying. Yeah, but of course there are ways to speed up your painting process. So if you don't want to invest maybe half an hour to an hour into every single miniature like I do, then that's totally fine. You can speed up your painting processes with airbrushes, with contrast paints, with dry brushing and stippling, and there are ways to paint armies relatively quick, and they still look decent. You could do that, and then you would accumulate the armies relatively quickly. So let's say you have an airbrush, and you paint your Space Marines with an airbrush. How long would that take? So I would say you could pump out an army as a single person in maybe a month. If you paint at least 2 days a week for, I would say, 3 to 5 hours, then you could pump out a relatively decent looking Space Marine army. That's an approach that is decent and achievable for the average painter out there. But painting an entire army in one sitting, in one go, in 24 hours, that's totally insane. So if you're painting in my approach, that would take months to finish an army project, depending on the point size you're aiming for. So, for example, if you're shooting at a 500 point army, so the very least you could use for playing purposes, in my painting approach, I would say that would take you half a year. So, is that bad? Well, depends on the frequency you want to play. If you have a play group out there ready to play with you, and they don't want to wait half a year to a year to for you to actually start showing up with painted miniatures, then yes, of course, you should speed up your painting process, or paint with half painted or unpainted miniatures until you have your army ready. So I'm not one to block you from playing. Far from it. But I just want to lower the expectations for what you can achieve in a short amount of time. This hobby takes time. Definitely. It takes time to paint your miniatures, and so don't think that you should start with a insane paint job over a weekend or even one evening. You would totally go insane, and after that you would A, hate your hobby and hate painting miniatures in general, and B, I can guarantee you the miniatures won't look good because you're rushing through the paint jobs, and overall, after you have played one or two games with the miniatures, you may lose those games, and then you despise those miniatures. You will never touch them again, and you have paid a lot of money for those miniatures. And if you had spent a little bit more time with them, then maybe you won't hate the painting process. And yes, you may have lost one or two games, but then you paint a different unit because you didn't have burned out yourself on painting. And then the next game you win because you have a nice new unit, and then you paint a nice character model, and your army is growing and growing. I hope you you get what I'm trying to say here. Don't rush into your hobby. You have plenty of time. You have years in the hobby. You don't need to rush. And if there is a tournament coming up and you don't have the army for it, well, guess what? You probably won't make it through the tournament. But if you are painting on a steady pace, every weekend, maybe 5 miniatures, that's accomplishable, I would say. Then, over the course of half a year, you have an army, and then when a tournament shows up in your area, you can say, oh, nice, there's a tournament, I have an army, and yeah, there's this one new unit that Games Workshop just released, and I can totally paint this one unit up in a weekend, and then field it in my army. Yeah, that's an approach that I would totally do myself. It's always nice to field a nice, shiny, fresh new unit. But don't burn out yourself on painting miniatures. That's not why we paint miniatures. At least that's not why I paint miniatures. I want to have fun. That's also the reason why this channel is not super fancy as like Squidmar or Eons of Battle or Miniac or insert random big miniature painter here. I treat this here as a hobby and not as a job. Sometimes it feels that way, that I have to pump out some content here and there to stay relevant and stay in the focus of the overwhelming algorithm gods out there that determine how many people are watching my videos. Yeah, my videos are watched between 300 and 500 times. Not like in the old days where my videos hit 30 or 50,000 views. Those times are long gone. but I'm still painting along, painting my miniatures, showing the techniques that I learn to you guys, and I hope you like this. So if you have any suggestions, what you would like to see on my channel here, then please go ahead, post it down in the comment section. Tell me what you would like to see. Do you like more the painting tutorials here on my channel? Do you like more my ramblings, my unboxing videos, or do you even like my 3D printing content? Do you like me showing off some new 3D printed miniatures that I've recently printed, or do you despise those? Tell me your thoughts, how I could make this channel even better for you. Because, let's face it, I make those videos for you. If you don't watch them, then I'm wasting my time here, and well, I could just invest that more in my miniatures instead of filming videos. But you guys are still watching, and so I'm still making videos. Yeah, I hope you like this little rambling video while I was painting here. Now let's give it a little bit of a rust coat here on the helmet and weapons, and then he is done. A little bit of the good old dirty down rust. Dum de dum de dum. De dum de dum de dum dum. Yeah, and I hope I see you in my next videos, whatever they are about. Thank you for watching, thank you for liking, for subscribing, for providing me with comments. Thank you for always watching my videos, for staying with me for over 13 years now. Yes, I'm an old YouTuber here, and I'm just too stubborn to stop. Okay, until the next video, you're Alexandra. Bye.